Yet even without the decorated titles, Mbabazi continues to send ripples within the ruling party establishment. This afternoon, the army, under the command of the Land Forces Chief of Staff, Brigadier Leopold Chanda, raided the home of Mbabazi in Kololo. He was stripped of his guards. It's not clear yet whether he will contest the presidency in 2016, but many believe he was dropped for showing interest in the highest office in the land. To discuss this on the spot tonight is the Minister without portfolio and Acting Secretary General, Richard Todwong. But before we get into the discussion, first here is the preamble.
First, he was stripped of his coveted position and trappings of power as Prime Minister. Now, he has been stripped of his security detail. Soldiers led by the Chief of Staff of Land Forces, Brigadier Leopold Chanda, this afternoon stormed the home of outgoing Premier Amama Mbabazi in Kololo. Laying siege for hours, the army officers who have been guarding him were ordered to leave. NTV has learned that Mbabazi's movements for most of the day were under the security radar. At home, his wife, Jacqueline Mbabazi, asked a horde of journalists to leave.
Please go, there is nothing strange. They want their security, let them take them. Go away.
Family and friends drove by his home to see what was unfolding. Barely after an hour, military police officers arrived to buttress the army. Mbabazi's guards packed their belongings as they prepared for new deployments away from the master, who was not only part of the ruling party inner sanctum, but was a de facto leader who handled the president's sensitive assignments. Mbabazi later on rushed to his home.
Somebody told me people were speculating, and I'm sure you as journalists have got better information, but you have been here. You have seen that it was simply a relieving of guards and replacement by the VIPP.
Yet this could just be the beginning of Mbabazi's troubles as the state mulls the purge of his loyalists within the establishment. Emmanuel Mutaiziwa, NTV Tonight.
Honorable Richard Todwong, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Patrick, and good evening, viewers.
You're on the spot tonight, and you have just played for you a preamble showing the events of the day in Kololo. And you, acting Secretary General of the party, the things that are happening in Kololo and happened on Friday and have been happening this week, do they make your party strong, NRM?
Patrick and viewers, I think we need to make certain things very clear. And hard questions must be asked, and serious answers must be given. One is that what has happened, it is not new. Honorable Mbabazi is not the first person that has gone through this. When you serve and you have reached a period that you have served enough, and the appointing authority has decided to appoint somebody else, definitely changes like such happened. Like the wife said, that this is not something strange or new. It was just replacing the soldiers with the police guards, which is normal. The former vice president...
Is this the kind of exit Honorable Richard Todwong should get before he returns to his village in Puranga?
In Purongo, not Puranga.
Purongo, okay.
Definitely when guards are being changed, definitely such things happen. They change guards and reports are given, and the soldiers went and removed their manpower, and the police went there and replaced the soldiers with the police armed forces. So there is nothing strange really. These are normal things that do happen. One good thing is that he's still having guards around his home, which is the most important thing. Whether police, whether the army...
Honorable Richard Todwong, did this require some kind of a siege involving a brigadier a chief of staff of the land forces, at one point the ADC of the president, Brigadier Leopold Chanda, to stage there, and have an army, a lorry truck there. All that might, was that necessary?
That is the honor and the respect that I assume they gave to the home. That a dignified, decorated general went and oversaw the operation, which was supposed to give that respect to Honorable Mbabazi's home. So it was not an ordinary change.
Richard, this is what you call dignified exit?
What else would you call it? What else would you call it?
Humiliation.
No. It wasn't that.
It is.
Honor, you see, my brother, when the former vice president was relieved of his responsibilities as the vice president, Professor Gilbert Bukenya, he used to have soldiers guiding him. The same change of guards happened at his residence. Professor Apollo Sibambi, of course, used to have mixed of soldiers and police at one time. The same thing happened to him. So many other people. And it's just normal. This is a normal occurrence that happened. Now, the only thing that we need to ask ourselves is that you people in the media would like to make it appear is that there is nothing wrong with this. It is a normal thing. It's a normal exercise. Honorable Mbabazi is still a serving member of parliament, is a member of the party. He has said it openly, and that he is still serving the party, is a loyal cadre to the party. And there is nothing wrong with that.
The political analysts in this town say the sacking or the removal of Honorable Mbabazi from the office of the Prime Minister shows really the lack of internal democracy in the party, in the ruling party. So is he really paying the price for having showed interest in the highest office in the land?
I don't think so. The Constitution of Uganda is very clear. Article 108A of the Constitution of Uganda describe how a prime minister is appointed by the president with the approval of parliament, and how a prime minister can exit his office. The conditions are all there. And so it does not give you the time frame within which a president can appoint or withdraw his appointment of somebody that he would have otherwise nominated to be a prime minister. So these are normal things that do happen. So the president can appoint you today, and tomorrow he withdraws the appointment when parliament approves. The president can appoint you for 1 week, 1 month. The constitution did not clearly state for what period one should be in whichever office. All of us can be appointed and removed from office, which is normal. Even if it is me, at my humble capacity, I can be removed. It is only imperative for leaders to know that once you're in, you are ready to exit at any time. You should prepare your mind for that.
So when you get into the NRM party and get in the highest office, you're actually in the departure lounge, like Honorable Jacob Olanya says.
It is not only in NRM.
You are in the departure lounge.
Changes have happened in all organizations. It's not only in NRM. We have seen changes in most of the political organizations that we've witnessed around.
Now, look at
this. So changes are normal.
When he's replaced as Prime Minister and Honorable Nduguru Gunda takes over, we see members of the NRM party, women jubilating, celebrating on the streets of Kampala. And you again tell the world that everything is normal and that's okay. Why the jubilation?
Can I tell you something about politics, Patrick, and the viewers out there? Once you're a politician, definitely there are people who support you and there are people who don't support you, be it inside the party or outside the party. It's not 100%. That is why there are elections, internal elections in party, because there are those who support you and there are those who don't support you. So definitely, even us, all of us, there are those who support an individual and then there are those who don't support such a person. So when somebody jubilates because in the initial stage he or she did not support you, okay, that should not raise even anything. It's normal. So we have are you assuming actually it's a big weakness for one to be 100% supported. That is a weakness. You must have enemies. You must have those who don't support you in whatever organization you belong to. If you are good to everybody, then you are not a leader. So for those who are not supporting him or those who are jubilating, are they tilting the balance into a surge for the support of the NRM party as we speak tonight? Well, I cannot adequately comment on that at the moment. One is that changes happened. And it has happened, and our former Right Honorable Prime Minister was relieved of his duties, and another person of the party was appointed. It caused some bit of excitement from other quarters of the population. Others were concerned. Others started asking questions. Why? I'm sure at the right time, the appointing authority will clarify all these things.
At the rate of time, we are going to see, after 28 years at the helm, something choreographic, where President Yoweri Museveni is going again to be chosen. Already in Kyankwanzi, you endorsed him. And that clearly shows lack of democracy. You have not even grown. Instead of people coming in, young thugs like you, taking on the mantle of leadership, you're just going to endorse.
We were very clear when we were coming up with the Kyankwanzi resolution. That resolution was not to, by any way, block anyone from coming up at the right time. Our issue was such discussions should be handled at the right time. We are left with about 1.5 years to reach the bar. Okay? Now, we already have people who are coming up with interest, speculations, and they were rocking the party, rocking the government, sending mixed signals. The media was picking it. And so we needed to take steps as members of parliament. We are members of parliament, and we are chairpersons according to the NRM constitution of our various constituencies. So it was in our docket as members of parliament that we needed to have taken a step that we took to say, no, at the moment, in order for us to bring discipline and order, we need to say what we said at Kyankwanzi.
It is Honorable Richard Todwong, Honorable Todwong, it is public knowledge really that the man you wanted out was Honorable Mbabazi, because many people in Uganda had supported him, wanted Mbabazi presidency, even though he had not spoken about it. Posters that were out, and he was getting the other day a spear and a shield in his home. That is the man you didn't want him to.
No. That we still don't stop. Actually, if that is the case, then now is better, even at a better position to continue with this interest, if that is the interest. But we are saying the right time will come when when things should be done into its proper perspective. You don't start behaving as if the party does not have rules, as if the party is a congregation of people who don't even know why they are in government. There must be channels and lines of duties that people should follow.
How do you reconcile the fact that we have seen the arrest and harassment of Honorable Mbabazi's loyalists, but we have also seen members of parliament given money to go and popularize the issue of a sole candidacy? What a travesty.
You see, we passed the Public Order Management Bill, which became an act of parliament. Okay? For you to carry out any public function, demonstration, public meeting, whatever the case it may be, you need to notify police and seek police permission. Okay? When we went out to the countryside to popularize the Kyankwanzi resolution, we got permission from the police to hold the meetings we held in sub-counties. Okay? Now, these gentlemen that got into problem with the police, purportedly supporters of Honorable Mbabazi, I really cannot adequately comment whether they were given permission to do that or whether they were doing it as a demonstration, as they called it. Now, if it's a demonstration, then definitely the police was right to put them to order the way they did.
You found it right, in the interest of the party and the interest of Uganda, to keep fronting the name of one individual who has definitely done a good job up to a certain extent. And you, the young thugs in the NRM, disqualify yourselves as people who have no capacity whatsoever to get into leadership?
Actually, we have overqualified ourselves by allowing the president and the chairman of the party to continue leading Uganda. That is a vote of confidence in his leadership and in his legacy. That is why we did that. We are not saying we should come and rush and become leaders tomorrow. No, there are processes. And we are even saying we have not stopped anybody from showing interest. NRM Parliamentary Caucus is not the final organ of the party that determines such. We are going, that decision, actually it was even the Right Honorable Mbabazi had to sign that resolution at Kyankwanzi. Everybody signed. Now, he received it, and at the right time, I'm sure he will present it to SEC. SEC will take it to NEC. NEC will present it to the delegates conference, and the delegates conference will decide. So it's still going through the normal organ of the party to make the final decision.
Richard, the kind of movements and actions being taken today, we see as if you have not learned from the past history so much. Because if there's any one of you that intended maybe to deflate the popularity of Honorable Mbabazi, you have done the reverse.
I don't think there is anything wrong with what has happened. I don't think there is anything wrong with the president withdrawing his appointment from anybody. I don't think there is anything wrong with the security officers withdrawing guards and changing guards. Those are normal things that happen. Even when he had all these soldiers were being changed now and then. So it's a normal thing. So I don't see anything wrong with this. This is a normal process that we go through.
Look at what happens. Today on social media, the polls conducted at a quick speed show that he was gaining a popularity. Here is a man who has shown a lot of respectability, but also a lot of humility, and he's calm, he's cool, he's collected, and he's making you guess, isn't he? He has put you where he wants you to be.
You see, Patrick, I really don't want to over-discuss an individual. The organization is bigger than an individual. The system is bigger than an individual. We individual, we come, we pass, we leave. But the system and the organization remains. Okay? Whatever that happens, if it is in the interest of strengthening the organization, strengthening the party, bringing more cohesion in the system, so be it. We are not there as permanent residents in the party. No. We are passing. You bring your contribution. Right Honorable Mbabazi has really made a very tremendous contribution to the party, serious contribution to government over the years. Okay? Nobody is disputing that, and nobody can even challenge that. We know that. But time comes when really we need to subdue our individual interests and aspiration to the bigger organ as a party. And that is how a party can build on and on the legacy of the founders, on the legacy of the purpose of the party.
But there has been an individual for the last 28 years who seems to have been even bigger than the party.
We are not saying that individual cannot be contested against. We are not blocking that. We are saying anybody who is willing to contest with this individual is free to contest, but at the right time. The right time is coming when internal party calendar will be given out to members. Forms for declaration of interest will be given out to members. So you fill the forms, you declare your interest. If you want to contest against the chairman, you want to contest against the candidate, the presidential candidate, you will be free, but not at the moment. Ugandans tomorrow, in 2016, Ugandans will not gauge us by who we send, but by what we have done to reach 2016. So we still have time to patch up whatever we have promised Ugandans in the last election, to make sure our manifestos are implemented timely, to make sure what we promise are being handled effectively by those who are supposed to handle them, but not now to start running around fidgeting, looking for people. No. And that is a vote of confidence in the party, that we are extremely confident that at the right time, a right person will be picked.
We're going to take a break, Honorable Richard Todwong. When we come back, I just want to know, because you are the acting Secretary General, whether you can actually match the credentials of Honorable Mbabazi, whom one of my colleagues has described as the Android system, the operating system of the NRM party. We'll be right back.